Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla. Thank you for stopping by to visit with me today and to hang out while I am working on a project. This is a fun project. First off, I'm using Plenty of Fish in the Sea, a book by Stringy Ding Ding. It's 20 amigurumi ocean crochet patterns. This is a fantastic book. I have raved about this book so many times. You can go to stringydingding.com and order this book if you want to. I'm going to tell you, it is worth every penny. You get 20 great amigurumi patterns. And I have made just almost everything out of here. I have not made the squid, but I think I have made everything else. Well, I haven't made this little guy. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe I'm not sure what it is. I haven't made that. But I think I have made everything else in here. This is a fantastic book. I used it to make that Under the Sea wreath pattern book. Wreath that I had made a while back, a couple years ago maybe. And this book is chock full of pictures, but really this video is not about the book, but I'm using this book for the mermaid pattern. That's what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you where I was getting my pattern from. Okay, now I am using a red heart Aran color for my skin tone because that's all I had that was in a good skin tone to go with this project. And I'm using, for her hair, I'm going to use Premier Basics. This one is called Aqua. And for her fin, her tail, and all that, I'm going to use the Premier Sweet Roll Fruits in the colorway Blueberry. I think these blues match up really pretty good. And I just think that that's going to be a good color for her hair. And then this is her tail. And she's all fancy. And she likes blueberries under the sea. I don't know. I'm just going with it. It's a whole little theme there, okay? So that's what I'm working on today. I did want to remind you that Premier Yarns is having a sale till the end of the month. Wow, and it is a great sale, okay? I'm going to leave you a link in the description box below. Click on that link and check out the sales that Premier is having. Once you go to their website, if you just look across the top of the screen and put your cursor over sales, it will come up with like weekly deals. Yeah, put your cursor over there and then click weekly deals and see what all's on sale. It may be about 2 pages worth right there. And then you can check those other things too that come up on under there. But most likely I'm going to be ordering some more Premier Basic before the end of the month because I love this blue and I'm going to use it all and then I'm going to be sad. So I need to order some more of this blue. And plus, I really did like their purple. Sometimes it's just, I have a hard time finding a pretty purple that I like. And so I did find one. And they're basic. And so I'm going to probably order some more of that. But anyway, I'm working on this mermaid and thought I would chat with you guys for a little bit now that I got all that other information out of the way. Tell me what's going on with you. What are you working on? What is your project that is keeping you busy and bringing you joy? I hope your project's bringing you joy. If it's not bringing you joy, it's not worth doing it. Okay? Let's find things that bring us joy and makes us happy. So, I love crocheting. And I also love working with my knitting machines and creating. So, anything that has to do with, working with yarn and creating adorable things. I like to create all the cute things. And I'm supposed to go several rounds here with just single crochets. I've already did all my increases, and I got to a point where I'm just doing single crochets all the way around, and I thought, well, I can talk and do this. I can't talk and increase and keep up with my stitches. I'm not sure where I got this big Aran colorway at, but it is a huge, it's the jumbo, as you can see on the package here, but it is the huge one, and it is yeah, the Aran color, A-R-A-N. Let me get my blue. Okay, so it's a little bit lighter, not than I really wanted, but looking around, I was looking for a light skin tone, and this is what I had. So what I'm trying to use. Yeah, so what have you guys been up to? What's been keeping you busy? I have just been trying to get things in order around here. Like, I've had a mess going on, just some unorganized stuff, and I don't like things to not be organized. I like to be able to just, when I need something, just go right to it because I know where it's at. And I've had a little bit of disorganization going on, and so I've been trying to get things under control. Oh, I do have a little bit of yarn there. Let's see. My son, Dakota, just started a new job. Congratulations, Dakota. He just started a new job. He was hired at a fancy smancy restaurant here in town as their pastry chef, and so I'm excited for him for that. And I did say this in a previous video at the very end, but you know, I don't know if people made it to the end of that video because it was long. But that looks like it. Okay, I'm just trying to see why that looks a little off right there. Anyway, it's a fancy smancy restaurant. It's a restaurant I've never been to, and I never will go to because it is super expensive restaurant. Okay, I'm told that four people went there to eat, and it was over $300. So yeah, not our kind of restaurant. And so I'll cheer him on from the sidelines, though. But sadly, I won't be going to the restaurant to cheer him on. He certainly understands that. And then my son, Elijah, if you caught a video this past week, his little fur baby passed away. Django, we had Django for 11 years, and so we don't really know how old he is. He could be about 13 years old, because he was probably a year or two when we got him. And so we had him 11, so we could say he could be 12 or 13 years old. And so he lived, you know, a good long life with us. And then when Elijah moved out, of course, he took his little doggy with him. And so we've, you know, seen Django when we would go up there to visit, or when Elijah came here to visit. You know, he always brought his dogs with him. And so I always have them goodie bags to take home with them. I always bought, you know, dog food and stuff for my grand dogs. I didn't have grandkids to buy stuff for, so I'd buy stuff for treats and dog food and all, toys, to send back home with the grand dogs. And so I always got Django his favorite little food. It's been, you know, a hard week just knowing that Django passed away, and Elijah did take it very, very hard. You know, it was really hard. And so for me, I just wanted us to go up there and get Django, and bring him home to bury him here on our land. But that just wasn't, it just wasn't something we could do. But I do hate that he's going to be buried off somewhere else and not here. When Dakota's little dog Taco passed away, he brought Taco home to be buried here. And so I wanted the same for Django. And I was really sad that he didn't get to, Elijah couldn't bring him home. Because, you know, he recently had started a new job. And we just wasn't in a position where we were able to go and get him either. So, it'll be okay though. Oh, my animals are all doing great. Phoebe is in her puppy bed, asleep right now. She's curled up under a new blankie that my friend Eva gave her. And so Eva had found some blankets marked down somewhere, and she got her little doggy one and got Phoebe one, because Phoebe loves new blankets. That is one thing she is crazy about, getting a new blanket and getting a new toy. She gets so overly excited. It's just crazy. She gets so excited. And so she's over there wrapped up in her new blankie right now. I just got her bed, cleaned out her bed and washed it good, and did all that yesterday, and gave her her new blankie, and she was so appreciative. She said, "Thank you, Eva." And the cats are running around chasing each other. They just ran through here like 90 miles an hour, acting all crazy, chasing each other. So I don't know where they ran off to. But Sassy has been back there sitting with Big Daddy some. The cats and dog, they usually all stay wherever I'm at. When I walk through the house, Big Daddy said it's like Snow White walking through the house and all the animals follow me. And he wants them to come back there with him so bad. He tries to get Phoebe too, and she will every now and then. And, y'all know what? I need to count and see what row I'm on real quick. Y'all mind? I'll count to myself. So I am starting the last row. I'm starting the last row right here. And then I'll have to look at the pattern again. But anyway, he wants them to come back there. And like I said, Phoebe will at sometimes. But, you know, she wants to be really where I'm at. And so Sassy has started going back there and laying next to him on the couch or something. And so he's been petting her. But he really wants Sissy too. But Sissy's just not the type that wants to be petted. She'll lay next to you, but she don't want to, she don't really want to be petted. But Sassy has decided that she can go back there some and sit with him. So that gives me a little bit of a break, especially when I'm working on something that I don't want her all over, or I've got too much stuff on my desk anyway. And for her to go back there and sit with him makes it a lot easier for me. And so Big Daddy will text me and say, "Come in here very quietly." And so I'll get up and tiptoe. He just wants me to come see that Sassy's laying with him. And in his lap or whatever, you know. And so that tickles him. Tickles me too. I'm happy to see that. Like I said, it gives me a little bit of a break when I'm trying to work. I have made so many of these mermaid dolls. I don't know. I've made lots of these mermaid dolls out of this pattern book. It's a great, easy pattern. All her patterns are very well written and just easy patterns to work up. It's a very nice book. And if you go on her stringydingding.com, if you go on there on her website, you will see, if you go to the book, there's some little reviews of the book, some videos and such. You might even see me talking about this book. I honestly, truly do love this book. People who's been here for a while, they know. They know I do. I highly do recommend this book if you want to do some fish and a mermaid and different things in the sea. It's great patterns. And it's spiral bound. And the paper is very high quality. And I'm just sitting here refluxing. I don't know how I'm going to lay down. Because I'm just refluxing so bad right now, sitting straight up. When I lay down, it's only going to get worse. Oh, let me put this last stitch in for that row. And then I'm going to have to look at my pattern to see what I'm supposed to do on the next row. So let me go check that out. So I checked my pattern, and what it was it wanted to tell me where to place the eyes. And so I put some little markers there. One thing about Stringy Ding Ding's patterns is that she tells you exactly what row, what stitch to put the eyes. And, you know, all patterns don't do that. And so I really appreciate that Olive from Stringy Ding Ding does that. While you're on her website, check out all her patterns. She has some awesome patterns on there. Awesome, awesome stuff. The latest thing that I made from her website was the couch potato. So you can look up that couch potato. And I think that's the last pattern I made of hers, which has been about a month ago, maybe. But she, you know, has great patterns on her website there. Anyway, guys, I am going to finish working on my head, my mermaid head, and I'll be back because I want to make that thin, her tail, and I got to make some hair for her, and I just think she's going to turn out lovely in the blues. So she is going to be a blueberry mermaid, and I'm excited about that. I like that she's gonna have a theme. Okay, so now I gotta put a single crochet where I have that stitch marker, and I just don't want to pull out my And it worked just fine. All right, and we'll keep going, and I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, friends, I am still working on my mermaid, and I have the head almost done. I'm at the point where I need to decrease so I can put my eyes in soon. But let me just tell you, okay, so I buy the safety eyes, and sometimes these clear ones, you know, they come with those glitter backings, the little circle with the hole in the middle that you put on the back of these. But the package never seems to have enough to match up all the eyes, so you end up with eyes with no glitter backing. And you can buy some of that glitter paper at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or, well, I was going to say Joann's. Nope. But anyway, you can buy some of that. But what I decided to start doing was to paint the back of my eyes. I did that on another doll that I have going on in process. And I really liked the way it looked. And so I know I want this doll to have blue eyes. So I just got my Craft Smart paint out. And what I'm going to do is put a coat of paint on the back of my eye. I'm going to put a coat of paint on this one. I'm having trouble holding them. I am going to have to go around and make sure I did not get any on the front of the eye. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I had to do it with the purple one too. I painted some eyes purple, and they turned out really pretty. I liked it the way they had looked. And so, okay. Now let me get a napkin. I'm just going to lay my napkin down and take my eye and just go around it, wiping off any that got on the edges. Okay, and so this is actually going to need several coats of paint. But anyway, you want to make sure that you don't have any that come around the edge of your eyeball, which is easy to do as you're painting that. So what you want to do is let that dry and then do another coat. And you probably need about 3 coats. So while I am crocheting, I'm going to set these to the side. And I'm just going to set these over here to the side and let those dry. And once that coat's dry, I'll stick another coat of paint on there. Because it's not thick, I can still kind of see through it. And that's the way it is when you paint on plastic. Well, you know, that's the story of my life. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found my other eyeball, and I went ahead and put a second coat on them because it took me a while to be able to find that and get it. So I have a second coat going on those, and I'm going to crochet some more on my mermaid until I get to the point where I'm ready to put on my eyes. I probably will put a third coat on them at some point. But I have them over here just waiting. And I'll show you how those turn out soon. So I'm putting my eyes in, and I wanted to show those to you guys. I love how they turned out. I might need to take a baby wipe and wipe the outside of them, which I can do that at any time. But there are my eyes. I don't know how well you can see that, but they are so pretty. I did some purple eyes like this. I think I might have said that. And they turned out gorgeous. And so, you know, I think I'm going to start painting my eyes because I like that a whole lot better than that glitter. To me, that glitter just doesn't always show up. And so I'm not going to pre-paint eyes because I don't know what color, you know, the eyes are going to need per project. I'm just going to wait until I'm working on a project. And if I need some big pink eyes, I'll, you know, paint some pink. If I need them to be blue or purple, pink, green, whatever, I'll paint that on there because that turns out so good. Have you ever painted eyes before, and do you like the way that turns out? Let me know in the description box below. Okay guys, so I'm excited that I finished the top of my head and down the chest area of my mermaid. So I'm going to start the tail and fin and all that, you know, now. So I'm using Sweet Roll Fruits by Premier Yarns. This is a 4-weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic. It's 174 yards. It's nice yarn. I love this yarn. If it was knitted, this is kind of the way it would work up. But I'm going to be crocheting it. And so we'll see how it works up. But this is called Blueberry. And yeah, I'm excited about using this for my mermaid tail. So her name is going to be Blueberry just because I'm using the blueberry yarn. And she's going to have blue hair also. So I love variegated yarns for amigurumis. I don't know. I just kind of get bored with a solid color. Okay, I'm going to join my yarn in here. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to pick up my yarn as if I'm working my last single crochet. But instead of wrapping over, I'm going to join in this yarn. I'm going to leave a little bit of tail there. And pull this through. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over on this next one so I can kind of secure that. Now, of course, my hook wants to get hung up. Well, it was trying to bring both of them through is what it was trying to do. So anyway, then I just start my single crochets and go all the way around with the tail color. And I know I've got you zoomed in, but I just wanted you to see how I was changing colors. I kind of halfway do the last stitch and then finish it off with the new color. I don't know if it really helps, but yeah. That's the way I did it. I have questions about that sometimes, and so just thought I would throw it in there. All right, now I'm going to back out. All right, so I'm not all up in your face. But I think this color is going to be a beautiful tail. I like using these fruit rolls for different things like that. I've made an elephant out of this blueberry. I've made an iguana out of one of them. I can't remember all the names of them at the moment, and I should have looked at that before I started talking about them, but I've used different ones of these fruit rolls, sweet roll fruits, let me say it correctly. I've used several of those for amigurumis. I've made myself socks with those several times. I made a hat, a granny square hat. It was a granny stitch. It wasn't a square hat. But I've made a hat with those. So those can be used for lots of things. Actually, I've put some into blankets. So they can be used for lots of things. From blankets to amigurumis to hats and scarves and whatever. Socks. So at this point, I am, you know, just going around, single crocheting all the way around, trying to make sure. Hey, let me tell y'all something. You know, I talk about I can't see that well. I'm going to go ahead and clip off my yarn that I made the head and chest area with. Go ahead and clip that. And I'm going to take my tail from the old yarn and the new yarn, and I'm going to tie those together inside her body here. But, you know, I talk to y'all sometimes and say I can't see that well. I will see my doctor on Wednesday and get my appointment for the eye clinic. And so, anyway, this is what I did find out. I can see better like that. This is a light, and that's an OT light. This right here is an OT light. It hooks on the shelf above me. I think it really just blows out what I'm looking at, and I can't see. So I can see the stitches on this much better. Now, I don't think that will help too much with black yarn, but even with this, that OT light is blowing out my stitches, and I can't see them that well. I mean, hardly at all. But just the light of this magnifying lamp, and I think that's it's a LED lights around it, but it is much easier to see my stitches. And the reason why I happened to notice that is because one day Sassy came and sat right here, and she was blocking this light out, and all of a sudden I could see my stitches. And I was like, wait a minute, Sassy, wait a minute, stay right there. And then I kind of figured it out. But for filming purposes, I kind of need that light on, because it helps you see what I'm doing. And see, I really can't see that. It just blows it out so much. So for filming purposes, I really do need a light on. But for crocheting purposes, this just helps me so much. Being able to see. So, yeah, too much light is also not a good thing. And that OT light is very bright light, which might really help some people. But in my case, it's not helping me. Anyway, I made it round, so I'm going to keep crocheting on this, and when I come back, I'll show you, the progress I have made on the tail. Hopefully, I can get a lot of progress done on this. But I'll see you back in a little bit, friends. And sometimes you just have to clear off your desk and play with your kitty cat when her wants some loving. She is all about that loving and getting rubbed. Huh, Sassy? Sassy girl, you like some loving? And she also wants to bite and pull my hand wherever she wants it. If I'm not petting her enough, or if I stop petting her, then she will bite my hand. She don't bite it to hurt me. She just bites it to let me know, hey, you wasn't finished. You would never be finished. You will pet me forever. Oh, Sassy. I'm so glad that I used this fruit roll to do this mermaid's tail, because it looks really awesome. I'm very pleased with it, and I am very happy to know that this fruit roll is going to be on sale for the rest of the month of April, because I plan to order some more. I plan to get a few skeins more for different things like this. I think that just works up really pretty for a mermaid tail. It's not just one solid color. It gives it some interest with the variegation. And like I said before, I really like the variegated yarns for, you know, amigurumis and different things like that. I just think it gives them more interest besides just a solid color. Now, I do like solid colored ones too, but I really like variegateds. Friends, I am so pleased with the way my mermaid has turned out. Of course, I've still got to do, I got to close off the end, and I got to make the 2 fin tails and her bra, and then I've got to do her hair. But you know what? I think that's going to be another video, because I've been recording on this video for days, and it's time to just bring this one to an end and start a new video on this. So there will be a part 2, and I just clipped that yarn. So now I need to find a small needle to sew that up real quick. But I love the way that the variegated has turned out. It looks really cool on her, and so I'm hoping her little bra area turns out nice. All right. And then I got to make her arms and her hair. And her hair is also out of Premier Basic. So, all right, friends. I hope you all have a lovely evening. Or whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a lovely day. And I will see you all in the next video, friends. Thank you for watching. I don't know which... The reason why I didn't record this last bit is because it's in an awkward position. I really need to, like, pull it down here to me so I can see. And that's why sometimes you don't get a part of recording, because I couldn't get it on screen and do it at the same time. Just explaining that. All right, friends. See you later. Bye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and spending your precious time with me watching this video of this mermaid coming together. I appreciate you being here so much. Just remember, it's a beautiful day to crochet, and I will see you all in the next video, friends.